Good morning, YouTube. Louie here with the best silver gold deals of Saturday, June 28th, 2025. Let's go. I've got so much to talk about today. And let's start with a review of the spot price. So we have gold finishing the day down $53 to 3,272. Yeah, 3-2 handle on gold. And silver getting smacked as well, down 66 cents to 35.92. Platinum down $79 to 1,340. Let's make sense out of all this and decide what we want to do with the information. So as I said, silver 35.72, silver in the futures market 36.17, so no longer backwardation in those markets. But I think you have to remember we are at the end of the expiration of the June contracts, and a lot of rolling is done into July, etc. So there is a lot of noise here at the end of the week and the end of the month. Unfortunately, the end of the month doesn't occur until Monday, so we'll have to see how it all shakes out, but don't lose hope just yet. All right, in the gold-silver ratio, we are hovering nearly at 91 after taking several shots at 90 and failing to break down. But 91, I don't think that GSR is done going down yet. Just my opinion on that. None of this financial advice, just my thoughts after doing this for a while. 10-year yield. Okay, this is really surprising. The 10-year yield at 4.275. And lowest it's been in, let's take a look here, in a year? No, it's been lower a year ago. In 6 months? No, it's just the lowest it's been since April. But a lot has occurred since April, and we'll talk about the budget bill and other things in a minute. And I'm a little surprised at the dropping 10-year. Now, it may be dropping because people are running to safety and buying bonds. I don't quite think that's it, because the stock market is in rally mode, in risk-on mode. So something else is going on here. I'm not sure who is buying these 10-year bonds, but there's a tremendous amount of risk in these. All right, let's go on to the dollar. And the dollar is still in free fall, in my opinion. I think we will see a 96 handle on the dollar. Let's get a one-year chart, and there you see that is bad and getting worse, which is a tailwind for precious metals and really all commodities. And sometimes I wonder if people price the stock market in a constant dollar, they would see that really these rallies have a lot more to do with the loss in purchasing power than they do actually the risk-on environment. And possibly the risk-on environment has to do with the coming inflation, which will affect both metals and probably the stock market as well. But I think we see a correction in the stock market before we have the hyperinflation in the everything bubble here. Okay, copper. Now, copper is not like silver, right? Copper or platinum or gold, copper is up on the day, over $5, $5.12, and continues to rise. Let's try to figure out where copper is going. Well, slow and steady wins the race. You know, up too fast usually brings about a crash after that, but this is just ratcheting up. Looks like it's going to about 5.25. Let's take a longer chart. How about 5 years? Oh my gosh, copper sneaking up on a 5-year high. How about an all-time high? Copper about to make all-time highs. So that tells you something about commodities. Now, I think we have to keep in mind that silver is mostly a commodity. It is certainly a precious metal, and I believe it's a monetary metal, at least to us stackers that don't believe in fiat. But industrial demand drives the majority of the silver price. And when the stackers, when the investors jump on board, also, that's what pushes it to new highs. And not that, 36s and touching 37 recently isn't, like a 13 year high, but I'm talking about all-time highs. And look at copper and then think about silver. copper being a strategic metal, and they're letting it run, okay. According to the U.S. government, copper is strategic and silver is not. You have to scratch your head about that one, right? Why is that? Well, there's an ulterior motive going on there when it comes to what used to be used to be currency, basically. Silver used to be currency. But anyway, at some point, they're going to let silver run. They're letting copper run unless we get a huge smackdown here pretty soon, or they do what they just did to platinum. Okay, you wonder why platinum went down? Well, you won't find this anywhere on YouTube and certainly from the CME group, etc. But we'll talk about that in a second. Okay, and what am I looking at here? Here is platinum. So there is the smackdown. Now it had a very rapid rise from $1,000 up to I think it hit about 1420. Okay, and I've been talking about platinum for a long time, and I think this is being driven by investor demand because they look at the price of gold and they think, well, what's almost as good as gold, and that would be platinum, and after years and years, it's finally running back up to its highs. Now, I don't think platinum's going to go over 1,500 in the short run, and I think eventually it'll probably go to 2,000, but this run has topped out for now. Now, you have to ask yourself, why did it top out? Topped out at 1420, getting out of control, right? A lot of speculation, etc. Well, I'll tell you why. They raised the margin requirements. Okay, NYMEX raised the margin requirements by a ton. Speculation was getting out of control, and the shorts were getting creamed. I think there were a lot of shorts in platinum. I don't know that for a fact, but they had to change the margin requirements. Okay, that is a dirty trick and is something they have done to take the top off the nickel market, to take the top off the silver market. Last time it hit 30, going back years and years. I think it was 30. Or maybe it was, oh gosh, I forget. It was during the silver squeeze, and I think 30 was the top. And they raised the margin requirements back then. I think they might have even done it twice. What happens when people are buying futures contracts on commodities? Well, when they raise the margin requirements, you have to sell because a lot of people are speculating with their last penny. Very foolish, by the way. And when they raise the margin requirements, they have to liquidate. And what happens? Platinum goes down $73. That is all that's happening here. And again, we're also at the end of a quarter, people rolling contracts, and I can't tell which way that's going to play out. But platinum may continue down for a little while, but I would not give up on it and recognize why it went down. Nothing other than that. Okay, in the economic calendar next week, we have nothing on Monday. Chicago PMI, we have Tuesday, S&P PMI, construction spending, job openings, ISM manufacturing, auto sales, Wednesday, ADP employment, and Thursday, initial jobless claims. So that's a jam-packed week. We'll have to see what that brings. All right, let's just get on to the deals. I have so much to talk about today. I don't have time for a question of the day. And I know everybody's confused, and you're going to see a lot of negative stories on YouTube. Why? Because the clickbait loves it. And when prices start falling, which they just did on Friday, everybody gives up, and the negative videos get more views than the balanced videos. I'm going to try and give you a balanced video here, but what do I know? I'm just a dude. Here is the website, bestsilvergolddeals.com, and it's all totally free. You can get over there and click along with me if you're buying today, and I suggest you not give up on buying when prices start dropping. That's when you want to be accumulating, not when they're going up under FOMO. If anybody wants to send me anything, you can do so here at my business address. It's at the top of the website. And let me go through a little bit of gold, and then I'll get on to some more stories. I won't do too much here, but everything is cheaper. 1/100th gold is $42. At SD Bullion, 1 gram of gold in assay is $123. You're paying extra for that card, by the way. And the new customer deal is right around spot at bullion.com. A 1/10th gold eagle is $367 at Summit Metals. A 1/10 gold maple is $3.57 at Safe Haven Metals. Notice how the maple is cheaper than the eagle in smaller fractions. We'll get onto that story in a minute. You can get a ducat if you like it. 375. What does ducat remind you? Okay, never mind. SD bullion 375 for a .11 something gold ducat. Very cool Austrian coin. Not a bad premium on that for fractional foreign gold. Quarter ounce gold eagle is one of the most expensive coins in the world on a fractional basis. $8.53 at bullion exchanges, and I think we'll find that cheaper on eBay. Quarter ounce Krugerrand is $8.49 at bullion exchanges. Let's get on to check out the 5 gram. Metric gold is often cheaper than fractional standard measures. Valcambi 5 gram, 571 at Monument Metals. And the peso, I'll skip. It's too expensive. The $5 commemorative is a good deal at $8.05 over at AppMex. That deal will likely last for about 12 hours and be gone if you like that as an alternative to the quarter ounce gold eagle. Let's get on to the half ounce gold eagle. That is $16.83 at Safe Haven Metals. And you may ask yourself, why is the half ounce maple $17.25 at bullion exchanges? Okay, and you'll see this story repeat with several types of foreign larger gold. And I think there's something going on with tariffs here and when stuff hit the container ships and when the tariffs were applied. So I don't know the details on that. You can dig in if you want, but if you're buying a maple at $17.25 this morning, you are making a mistake. Okay, let's go on to a 1 ounce gold eagle. 1 ounce gold eagle is $33.24 at bullion exchanges. Not too much over spot there, not too bad. We'll try to find a better deal in a minute. A Buffy is $33.99 at bullion exchanges, cheaper on Costco. We'll get there in a minute. All right, have I done enough? A Krugerrand here is one of your cheaper sovereign gold coins, not pure gold, but still an ounce of gold. 3319 at Safe Haven Metals, and I believe that is brilliant uncirculated. You can find those circulated closer to spot, but I wanted to give you, everything I tell you is BU unless I say otherwise. Okay, wanted to get on to the pre-33. A lot of you had some great comments on pre-33, and we had a complaint about SD bullion. They picked up one of these BU coins, and they got one with some hideous bag marks on it, which is technically still brilliant uncirculated, and SD bullion may or may not take that back. Matter of fact, you have more protection on eBay than you have with the dealer because you're begging them to take it back. And if the price of gold changes in the meantime, they're going to knock you, they're going to ding you on that as well. I think, okay, not to rag on them too much. But if you don't want to take a chance on something like this, a member of the community said, consider something like this. Now, this is also at SD bullion, but here you've got a slabbed St. Gaudens, just a beautiful coin there, pre-33, 0.9675 ounces of gold. It's not an ounce, and hopefully you know that. So here it is in an MS63 PCGS or NGC slab, no garbage, annex or ICG. Okay, good slab. Somebody felt that it was worthy of grading this coin back in the day, probably back when grading costs were a lot lower. But nonetheless, you're probably going to get a pretty nice coin in an MS63. Now, if that was an MS61, I don't know, and they might be melting those. So MS63 or 62, 63 and above may be all that gets saved from the smelters here. Depending on the retail demand for pre-33 gold going forward. But you may want to consider that, and you pay about $50 more for that if you want something beautiful, and probably won't be all screwed up like the random deal. Okay, just saying what one person told me. I don't know if that'll happen to you. Let's keep going here. Platinum is cheaper, but the Platinum Eagle ain't cheaper. It is still $14.92 over at Pimbex, and they don't make those anymore. All right, gonna keep going here, and a Silver Eagle is going to be cheaper today, $39.61 at bullion exchanges, $39.41 in a quantity of 20, and you can get the off quality impaired silver eagles, 38.31 in a tube of 20, and you may like what you get there. May not be as impaired as you think. My green light is still on, and unless silver busts below 35, I'm going to keep it on. Hopefully we bottom in here above 35 and then start the rally. And remember, a while ago I said that is what we want. This is what we want. Oops, sorry about that. You don't want to see a exponential move up, because that will be met with an exponential move down, and it could take us a year to regain the momentum. So stair step is what we want. All right, let's keep going here, and we're just consolidating in gold and silver. So that's all we're doing right now until further notice. Okay, we got some stories for you here, and they're all really interesting. I'm not going to click into all these, but as you know, Basel III is taking effect on July 1. Now, I have feared for a while now that this would be buy the rumor, sell the news, and maybe that's what's happening, and maybe Basel III is getting postponed, maybe it's not. Some of you know more about that than I do. Several comments indicated there may be a postponement, which there typically is with Basel requirements, and it may apply to Europe and may not apply to the U.S. or vice versa. I can't really tell you all the ins and outs of Basel III, nor do I fully understand it, but I will tell you this. Basel III is coming on July 1st, right, which should be an incentive for the banks to hold gold, right? But then what happens? All right, right here, at the same time, the Fed advances plans to ease bank leverage requirements. Now, I know there's a difference between a central bank and a too-big-to-fail bank. It's very interesting that central banks are requiring more physical assets, cash, or treasuries, right? At the same time, the Fed is easing bank leverage requirements. Why are they doing that? Because these banks are probably still blowing up with those, 0.5% treasuries that they still hold, are still underwater on, and you just haven't heard about it for a while. So I think that's, very, very interesting and coincidental that Basel comes in and the Fed is looking to ease requirements on the banks. And are the banks stronger than ever, or are they just changing the goalpost? Yeah. All right, let's move on here, but there's a lot I don't know about that, so you can straighten me out if you want to. All right, and here we go, and this is why platinum fell, and it's right here. You can Google this with AI. Actually, the link is in here if you click this. But yes, the New York Mercantile Exchange has increased margin requirements for platinum future contracts. Specifically, the maintenance margin for platinum futures traded on NYMEX is currently $4,000, according to the CME Group. Now, it's interesting. Jeffrey Christian had a video this morning talking about seasonality and the rolling of June to July and right? Funny he didn't mention, and he talks about platinum as well, and what goes up will go down and go much lower. Funny he didn't mention this. All right, I'm just saying, you want to listen to what people are saying, or do you want to find out what people are doing? And I find that very curious that they are not talking about the increase in margin requirements. Did the margin requirements go up on silver as they have in the past to curtail the rise? Maybe, I don't know. I haven't dug into that. Did they go up on gold? I don't know. You tell me. So plenty of homework here if you want to do it. All right, and moving on to the big beautiful bill, and the big beautiful bill is having issues, just so many issues with Republicans, issues with Democrats, issues with it being incremental to the debt and deficit, and issues with pulling benefits from Medicaid and food stamps and even Medicare, and issues with, what I'm calling the Republican version of universal basic income, the no tips on overtime, no tax on tips. So I can't really tell you what I think completely about this because I'll continue to get thumbs down on that. So I'll let you click that story and you see how you think that's going. And I will just tell you the news media cycle is not honest with you. And, the person that controls the stock market, and I do think we're headed for a crash here, but I am terrible at trading stocks, so don't listen to me about that because I would not be the person to follow. But the news media, CNBC, etc., they control the markets by deciding what to emphasize and when, or maybe that's the Wall Street Journal or Forbes or whoever makes the news stories. But notice how we have not had much information on the problems that the big beautiful bill is having, and they're massive. We have not had stories on those, and that was supposed to be done by 4th of July, and it's literally falling apart in both houses right now. So that story is to come. We have not had stories about tariffs, which are actually imploding under their own weight and lack of resolution and moving nowhere fast. And Trump, having a big, beautiful stock market leads him to stay tough on the tariffs. But eventually the news cycle will turn to the budget. It will turn to the $5 trillion increase in the debt limit. Yeah, only $5 trillion, that's all that is. And you're thinking about selling your metals here? Okay. And, and it will turn to, war is maybe behind us, maybe it's not. I don't know. I could only hope that to be true. But there are so many, and the 10-year coming down because somebody is buying it. And I don't know who's buying the damn bonds. I really would wonder about that. And the Fed reducing the reserve requirements on the big banks, which means they can employ more money. It's a form of stimulus. So if the money supply increases, everything goes up, and including inflation, by the way. And so we're all looking at the kabuki theater of the Federal Reserve, versus Donald Trump, etc. And what's really going on is everything they're not talking about. Okay, so that may blow your mind there, and maybe I'm wrong on all counts. You tell me. All right, I can do sovereign coins here, but they're all about the same. They're pretty close to 38, whether it be a Kangaroo, a Britannia, a Krugerrand, a Philharmonic, and a Libertad's about 45. Let's keep going here to the Army Privy Eagle, and they just are not coming back out, and about 85,000 of those probably released. Where are the other 15,000? Hell if I know. I don't know. They have a habit of holding stuff back lately. Maybe they'll do a 3-coin set of the 3 arms of the military. And why only 3? Shit if I know. Why only do 3? I don't get it. Anyway, hopefully you got that. Hold on to that. And if you want to get rid of it, send me an email. All right, and here we go. Superman is Boo, unlimited mintage, and the 2.5 ounce. Is it a metal or a coin? I can't recall. I think it's a metal. 2.5 ounce would be the one that I'd be interested in. Maybe the gold. I don't know. The gold is 10,000 mintage. I don't know about that. Costco has dropped their prices, and if you're buying gold today in the 32s, if you've got conviction over that, well, you can certainly pick up a bar at $33.39. Use your Executive Club membership and a 2% rebate credit card. You'll be out the door about $3,200 or so, which is under spot, and you can even get a Buffalo for not much more than that. All right, so Costco is the bomb this morning, and they did lower their prices, as we thought they would yesterday. And going on to junk, okay, this is interesting, and you can get junk a little over spot, which I wouldn't pay at 26.2 times face. 26.2 times face over at Monument Metals is about 36.60, and silver is below that, I believe. What did I say? Silver is 35.92, so don't pay over melt for junk. Please don't do that. You don't need to. We're getting it under melt every day on eBay. But look at this. The Mercs are loose. Yeah, they're throwing the Mercs out. Now, this is $5 for 1354 times face. That puts you at 17 times face for a Merc. And if you're hankering for some Mercs with full dates, looks like they're finally throwing away the Mercs. They gave up on trying to price those too high. And not that 27 is a great price. 27 is going to be 37.80. Yeah, it's a little pricey, but if you're hankering for some Mercs, you could consider that deal right there. Okay, the Buffaloes in a quantity of 20 are 37.24 at bullion.com, and over at Golden State Mint, they're probably pretty cheap today, 37.44. That is the Lincoln round. Here's random. Oh, 38.54. I don't like those Lincoln rounds all that much. Let's keep going here. What about a boo? How about a 79.86 for the 2 ounce Canadian Goose coin? Probably going to be made with Mint Shield. Going to be a beautiful big coin there. I wouldn't pay it personally. That is 40 a coin, but that's very cool. But it is also unlimited mintage. Kilo is going to be under 1200. No, it's not. 1208. I'm wrong about that at Monument Metals. Okay, we're over on eBay. We're going to find some better deals. For this, I want you to have your PayPal credit card handy or your American Express Everyday Cash card. If you don't have those two cards, you may want to get one of them and pay them off as soon as you use them. Get yourself that 3% rebate, which makes these deals, a lot of these deals, really smoking hot over on eBay. Sellers have had time to get nervous and drop their prices, so we may find some deals this morning. And by the way, had some fun at the lake yesterday. Got out there bright and early, and we did some fishing for bass and catfish. And man, those bass were circling all around my bait. I had a wiggly worm. I also had a night crawler. And he just taunted me that I mean, just literally swimming all around. I don't think they were that hungry, but anyway, had a good time. And by the way, I did pick up that new reel you guys suggested as well. All right, let's get on to the deals here. Enough about me. All right, and Pocket Pinger is there if you want one. And Silver Eagles this morning are, let's see. And what's this one here? Oh, there's the Pinehurst deal. Pinehurst has been sending out some nice coins there, although they are impaired. That would be 38.40, 37.40 on this deal for 20. Let's see, 788 is 35 and 340, 38.40, about 37.30 or so out the door. So yeah, I like that Pinehurst deal. And you may be able to find Eagles cheaper, but that's not a bad price on that one right there. Yeah, you can get multiples of those as well. But keep in mind, they are impaired, but you may get some old dates when you pick that up. All right, let's look at wait, I didn't do BU. Let's see, impaired. MCM's got impaired as well, but I'd get the Pinehurst. Let's see. Got any BU Eagles here? Here's some for 40.39 out the door. That beats the dealer as well if you like that seller. Check the sellers out before you buy those. Let's check a big lot. Maybe we can get a big lot of impaired Eagles. Now, skip this Liberty deal. I don't like that deal, but yeah, here's an impaired deal. So 39.32. Let's go ahead and go into that. And would just be very curious what you get. You can post it in the chat room. You can post your pictures in there if you want. But let me see about the cost on that. Okay, 39.32 times 0.97 if you have those credit cards. And you'll be out the door at 38.14. That's about 230 or 40 over spot. And keep in mind there's free shipping here, and you may be able to find some Eagles cheaper. Those are impaired. Okay, let's just keep going here, but not bad. Here's some BU. Who's this guy? 789 feedback, 100% positive, free shipping. Oh my God, he'll take a best offer as well. Well, don't go for the impaired if you can get the BU for the same price. So you offer this guy 3,900, and then you'd be out the door in the 37s on Eagles. Would put you about $1.50 over spot. So yeah, give this guy a run. He's dumping his Eagles here. And you could start low with 3,800, then you can make another offer. But if he takes the best offer, then you could get those cheap. Very cheap. Unless you think silver is going a lot lower, then you wouldn't do that. All right, on the rotation here, anything cheap in a tube of 25, 975 for the maples. And no tariffs here, right? 9.75 for the Britannias if you buy from United States. Kangaroo is 9.90. Looks like same prices as yesterday. A Krugerrand is 9.75. He'll take a best offer. Good seller, big seller, good feedback. I think I've bought from these people before. I don't know, could be. Might take them a while to ship. Let's see, what's the shipping on this? Get it between July 2nd and July 8th. Not sure about that, but 9.75. Offer them 9.25. Let's just see what happens if you got those out the door at 9.25. What would that get you? That would get you about 35.80 or so. That's the one I would take a shot at this morning. That one right there, because it's a best offer, and they're doing it for Treasury, and they may not be getting any offers given the panic in the silver market right now. So I'd start around 9.25, work your way up to 9.50, and you get some Krugerrands there, and they are 2022, and you'll support a nonprofit by doing it. All right, let's keep going here. So that's what I'd suggest this morning. How about junk in the trunk? Can we get $1 under spot? That's what I would love. We want $10 face. Just got to go down here. I'm on the website. You can click along with me. And in fact, when you click my links here, you keep my website rolling here. Let's see, $10 face. Looks like about the same as yesterday. 568, not huge, but not terrible. 25.9, we'll call that 26 times face, but and an extra 5% off if you buy multiples. Oh, 5% would be quite a bit. Get one at 5% off. Oh, so there's a coupon code. Okay, well, that's just going to be a good deal right there. So check that off. With the coupon code, buy one, get one. If you have to buy two, you get the 5% off on the second one with their BOGO code. Oh, and they've only got one left. Oh, holy hell. Okay, 26 times face. We'll do the math on that. That'd be about 25.70. I'm sorry, 25.2 after your rebate. Okay, come on. 25.2 divided by 0.715. Let's see if we can get under spot on this. I wish he had two. 35.24, so you'll be, whatever, 50 cents under spot on that deal. Maybe we can find somebody with two at the same price. It's a little more, and no best offer, no best offer, no best offer. Okay, still under spot for that guy there. Let's go to a bigger lot for you heavy hitters, and that would be this one right here. Now we want dates, and we don't want culls, and we don't want holes. But here we go. Dimes are better than quarters, and certainly better than culls. 26.38, you'd be out the door at about 25.70 times face, well under spot on dimes right here from Liberty. And does it matter how you store them? Probably doesn't. I keep mine in canvas bags. I keep them in open mouth beer cans. I keep them in coin tubes. The plastic coin tubes are very helpful if you want to, measure out $5 face. You could roll them in paper. Yeah, and PVC, you don't want them to touch PVC, of course. But you can do anything you want with them, unless you're buying the Mercs and you think there's numismatic value. Then I would do the coin tubes. Okay, that's a good deal right there on a bunch of dimes. If you think silver is done going down, who knows? I'll skip the Carson Cities and the Morgans this morning. Cheapest kilo, got to get to the gold, is $12.15 minus rebates. Here's your bar of the day. This is a Scottsdale Vortex bar for $4.09. Not a terrible price if you like Scottsdale, and there it is. That's going to be a beautiful bar. And Scottsdale does bring premiums in the aftermarket. I haven't seen them this cheap for a while, so if you want to pick that up, feel free. All right, I'm going to skip the kooks as well, and we'll just go to a lot of 21-ounce rounds. They are $37.50, about $36.50 out the door, about 80 cents over spot. In a big old lot of 100, about $36.40 out the door. That'd be over spot as well. Let's go to the 100. All right, and bullion.com has got a random 100-ounce bar for $37.50, and that'll be about $36.40 out the door. Well, they did not drop their price on those, did they? That is a strikeout on the 100-ounce bars. Let's just get on to the gold. 1 gram gold, as cheap as, ought to be cheaper today, right? 117 minus about $4, about 113 for 1 gram gold. That'll be out of assay, but it'll still be gold. And you small stackers with small silver stacks may want to add a gram of gold to your stack, or save up for something like a 5 gram, or maybe a cheap a Helvetia near spot, near melt, or something like that. Okay, let's go on to 1/10 Gold Eagle. 1/10 Gold Eagle as cheap as $369 minus 3%. 1/4 ounce random gold is going to be as cheap as Krugerrand, 870. Let's check you out. And it's a good seller, good feedback. And 870 minus about 25, $30. Put about 840 out the door for a 1/4 ounce gold. Krugerrand, 4 in gold. And let's keep going here to a 1/4 ounce gold eagle. Let's beat the deals out there. 892 minus $30 or so. Okay, if you like that deal. Let's go on to a 1 ounce gold eagle. 1 ounce gold eagle. They've been pretty cheap lately, actually. But so we may not beat it on eBay, but maybe. Let's see. Here's a good seller, big seller, good feedback, and 34.25. $10 off code. 34.15. And free shipping, 34.15. BU, 34.15 times 0.97. This is why you have those cards. You'll be out the door at 33.12. That'll beat the dealer by a little bit, but not a lot. Let's find something cheaper. How about a Buffalo? Buffalo can be had for 34.80, about 33.70 out the door. I think that'll beat the Buffalo prices, this Buffalo deal. Oh, $10 off on this as well. So if you're looking for a Buffalo and you don't like that Costco deal, about 33.70, 33.60, not a bad price on a gold Buffalo. BU Gold Buffalo from bullion.com. Let's keep going here. Anything good? Okay, $5 commemorative. And that is $8.35. Look, they got cheaper. So I suggest you consider that instead of the 1/4 ounce gold eagle. And the buy-sell spread will be much, much lower than that 1/4 ounce gold eagle, where you'll pay through the nose to get it, and the dealer will give you a couple of baubles extra when he buys it back. Yeah, that's bread and butter for the LCSs. No wonder they love them so much. No wonder they hate the commemoratives. They don't want you to buy these guys. But they always sell, and yeah, you probably get 2% back a spot on a $5 U.S. sovereign commemorative. I've bought many of those over the years. I was always happy I did, and sorry I sold them, tell you the truth. Okay, and what do we got here? We got a 20 franc at $6.52. It is a average circulated rooster. Okay, so nothing wrong with that. It's a pretty coin. A lot of people buy the roosters. Is that point? Oh, my head hurts. Is that 0.1867? Let's do the math on that. 652 divided by 0.1867, a little less than 0.2, equals a melt of 34.92, but the melt would actually be, after you apply your credit card, melt on this would be 33.87. I don't recall if that's cheaper than the dealers up above. You can check those prices, see what you like best. 50 peso, Big Daddy. Oh, is it cheap today? I hope so. This is 1.2. What is you? 1.2057. Oh, look at this. 4096. Divided by 1.2057. Okay, the melt on that is 33.97, then times 0.97. Did I do this right? Did I do it twice? I screwed that up. I must have screwed that up. Let me do it again. 40.96. I think I screwed that up. Too cheap. 4096 divided by 1.2057. 5.7? Did I screw that up too? I got to start over. 4096. Sorry. 4096 divided by 1.2057. 1.2057. First price, $33.97 times 0.97 with a decent credit card. Links on my website to those cards, by the way. Ooh, look at that, $32.95. That's nice. $32.95, and this is AUBU, which I think is okie dokie for a coin of this magnitude. And remember, it's not pure silver. It's not pure gold. It is just a big honkin' beautiful gold coin, and you'll probably never sell it. Tell you the truth, I like that. What is that? 30-40 bucks over spot. What is spot? Gold spot 32.72. It's like 20 bucks over spot. Oh, and dealers will probably pay you 2% back for that. Your buy-sell spread is minuscule. You got a big, beautiful piece of, collectible gold in a good format from a good seller. Unless you think gold is going to 3,000, I don't. I don't think it is at all. Okay, let's keep going here, and we'll start while landing this airplane. There's stuff in my eBay store, and if you see anything you like there, ask me for a friend discount. Be happy to help you out with that. Click those links there. It'd be very helpful. Okay, and here's the bars I pour. Channel members, new channel members, welcome. And don't forget to pick up your Louis poured silver at $250 over spot. And you can get up to 5 ounces a month of my poured silver, and haven't poured anything for a while. I need to come up with a new idea for July. I don't know, something hot, hot, hot. All right, but reach out to me at losinglouis@yahoo.com if you want a souvenir of my channel, and some pretty bitchin' poured silver at that, if I do say so myself. Ask anybody that's bought it over the last 10 years whether, they've wanted to sell it or not. I've made some great stuff. But I am a, 99th tier silver garage pourer. And although I've tried, I've never gotten all that popular. So you get quality without the price. What can I say? But I love it. You haven't lived until you've poured silver and felt it, pour and melt. And oh my God, the silver that we pour, for those of us that do it out of love, could be the very same silver that Vikings, a Viking raid party captured in 1443 or something. I mean, silver, if it's been around, it's been around, or it's been newly mined. I don't know. Okay, what am I talking about here? I don't know. I got to wrap this up. You guys got stuff to do today. There's a precious metals verifier. There is a vacuum sealer. Recommend both. There's an empty monster box. Too big, too heavy. Get the mini monster boxes, guys. There's a way to refine your bars. There's the Amex card, the PayPal card, the Quicksilver card from Capital One. I think they just said they raised their rebates back to 2%. Nope, still says 1.5. So I don't know. I saw Samuel L. Jackson on TV talking about 2%. I got the Wells Fargo card for my 2%, and the PayPal card I no longer have because they flagged me. And I've got the Amex Everyday card for 3%. I also have the Alliant Credit Union 2.5% cash back. So I typically default to my Alliant Capital One or my Wells Fargo. And since the American Express card caps out at $6,000, I try to save that for really special purchases or the grocery store. Okay, and that's about it right there. I appreciate the cups of coffee. I appreciate you guys signing up for the membership. Be in the inner circle here, and there's the ways you can do that. Link to the membership is in the description box below, and don't forget to ask me for whatever you need. And good luck today. I'd love to hear your thoughts and feedback on all the stories I've presented, and maybe I'm right, maybe I'm not. I don't know. You tell me. It's all food for thought. See you guys tomorrow. Thumbs up and share this if you don't mind. See ya.